been a coxswain for many years in my own village here in County Antrim. We're on the coast, closest point to Scotland. I look directly across at the Mullintyre, and in fact, many of our rescues are done in Scotland as opposed to Northern Ireland. As an organisation such as the RNLI, it's very, very hard for us to reach in to young people, especially the age that we're trying to target around our water safety messaging. The people most at risk are young males. And a few years ago, I after a very tragic drowning here that happened to be involving a GAA club, I thought, look, we should be trying to link with the GAA and the RNLI. Well, the Gaelic Athletics Association, or known as the GAA, is in every community in Ireland, small villages to large towns. It's a volunteer-led organisation, and the great thing for us is that they have the same ethos as ourselves in the RNLI. They do male and female ladies football, hurling, which is with a bit like a form of hockey, and then football. And there is about 2,300 GAA clubs in Ireland. They are in 74 countries in the world. And the interesting point for me was inside 10 kilometres of all our lifeboat stations in Ireland, that's 46 lifeboat stations north and south of Ireland, there is over 330 GAA clubs. There was just a very, very sad drowning down in County Cork, and one of my good friends that actually works in Croke Park in the headquarters in Dublin, it struck me one night and it just stayed with me, and I phoned him and I said, look, there's something we need to be trying to do here, because there's still about 120 people drowning, accidental drownings in Ireland in a year. And unless we try and come together to tackle that, we can't do it on our own, that's for sure. And I just had this model, and I've worked with a very, very small core of people in the RNLI to bring this to where it is today, where we are now, we are giving water safety messages, hundreds of them every month throughout Ireland. So Croke Park is one of the most modern sporting stadiums throughout Europe for any sport. And the GAA really endorsed what we were trying to do. So for several years now, every year we have attended an All-Ireland semi-final in football or hurling, where you will have approximately 70,000 people in the stadium. But that's not all. We bring a lifeboat into Croke Park, which is, just unreal when people see it and they just, wow, what's this doing? But every screen in Croke Park, that whole day is around water safety messaging. We have QR codes so people can download all the latest materials. We have all our engagement teams engaging with the people. And it really is fantastic when you see young people learning our Float to Live safety messages. And believe it or not, we're very, very good now at doing that type of stuff on a field rather than you don't actually have to go to the water to teach people how to float and all the messages. So on the day we launched this, we ended up with, I think we ended up with over 80 journalists there, because they were quite sort of, wow, what's going on here? They have fully bought into it, has all the players in the GAA. We bring about 50 volunteers in full kit onto the pitch in Croke Park in front of the 70,000 people. And I have to say, the hairs will stand at the back of your head when you see the welcome that the people get and the respect that the RNLI has here throughout Ireland. And it is a true partnership. It's a win-win partnership. It's not something involving, finances where, it's all absolutely built on saving lives. And we also know that our awareness, our safety campaigns in Ireland now are much, much higher than they are in England. And that is purely down to what we're doing with the GAA. So if we're saving lives, I am so delighted. And long may it continue. If you think about it, and it'll be the same in all our 238 lifeboat stations, many of our stations are closed 23 hours a day. So, especially in rural areas, so it's not the sort of place where people can sort of call into, and you don't get the interaction. Having the GAA in my own village, we're a small village here in an area of outstanding natural beauty. There's a population of about 1,600 people. But after the GAA do all their training, they're always in the sea in front of the lifeboat station. And I see it now very openly where people in the GAA sort of go, the RNLI, oh, they're with us, they're good guys, if you know what I mean. It's just amazing in communities. We have had even one of our key players up here in Antrim, his father took a heart attack in his house. And it actually was one of our station launching authorities, actually, who was a first responder, was there and saved the guy's life. And that's the sort of stuff that's going on in communities, and it's only absolutely right that we're joined together and we're doing this type of work. Well, since I have been 17, I've been in the lifeboat crew, so I have done hundreds of rescues. It's a huge commitment for any lifeboat crew. I see it here that we have 2 lifeboats here. We've got a Trent-class lifeboat and an Atlantic 85. And the commitment and dedication of a number of people to run every station. I mean, it is huge. You don't go to bed without leaving your laces open and your T-shirt on, ready to go, and it happens quite often. Where I am situated here, we genuinely could be in Scotland during the night and back home again. This is certainly secured, and this gives me great pride when I look that we are bringing forward another generation of our lifeboat crew. And that's probably selfish of me, but without us having volunteers coming forward, we cannot run the service that we're actually trying to do. I genuinely believe this is a vision for our future. Number one, from a whole engagement. Even if we want to try and partnership with large businesses to try, and we are a charity, we have to raise money. But I think this is the way to actually raise our money in the future, because if we're linked with the right partnerships, that's very exciting for other businesses to want to at least be seen to be lining up with ourselves. If we can keep developing our communities and bringing people into our organisation, that is fantastic. And to say it's not down to me; it is down to everybody that works along with me in this partnership. And I do believe if in 2 or 3 years' time, I suspect we will be anywhere we can with partnerships.
Hello, it's Dee Kafari here, and you've been listening to part of the RNLI's 200 Voices collection. To hear more remarkable stories, head to rnli.org/200 voices, or subscribe to the RNLI, wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you.
"200 Voices" is an Adventurous Audio Limited production for the RNLI.